number 17 in the Kenpo Karate for Christ third Brown curriculum is Twirling Hammers. Twirling Hammers is going to be for a left step-through punch. We're going to see some ideas that we've seen already with like flashing mace, had that corkscrew punch idea. That's going to show up here again. Different target this time. We won't be in front of them. We'll be coming around behind them and hitting them behind the head. One of the points that's interesting is that this shows up in long form 4 towards the end. It's actually the last technique, full technique that we do on both sides before we close the form of long form 4. What also is interesting is the first time you do it, you'll do the traditional technique, but you won't do the whole thing. You'll stop just short of the takedown. It's going to have one of those counterbalance where we pull down on the shoulder, we're holding the wrist, and we sweep the foot out. Also, we'll be doing that on the other side because usually we're pulling them down with the left hand and sweeping them with the left foot. You're kicking the right foot forward. This time we'll be pulling down with the right and kicking the left foot forward. We'll be on the opposite side doing that finishing takedown. But that motion doesn't happen. That's the part of the technique that's left out in the form as we do the first side. It does, however, have a motion that starts that when you do the alternate side. So for the form, we will have this action when we're practicing the alternate side before it closes the end of long form 4. Right? I don't know why they did it that way, but I always thought that very interesting. So as we practice the form, you're doing more of the full technique on the alternate side, where we'll only do the first part of it, the first half of it, here as the technique happens. Anyway, that's more trivial than, or trivia than necessary for the self-defense application. They're doing a left step-through punch here, center line. Our first motion on this is going to be a front cross here. We're getting out of line of that punch sideways. So we're stepping towards 3 o'clock with the left foot into a twist stance and using a left extended outward block to put us outside range of that punch here. So left punch comes in, boom, we outward block as we step out with the left. I'm going to advance with the right, and here comes that corkscrew. Corkscrew back fist, but it's going all the way around behind them to hit behind the head as it comes back towards you. All right, so that hits behind the head, and then immediately, that's as I'm pivoting here, I go from a twist stance, step forward into that neutral bow. As it hits, I'm pulling almost to a reverse bow just to develop enough torque, because then I'm going to pivot into a full forward bow. Right forward bow as that elbow comes underneath their arm, hitting to the ribs. Right, so that's the first part to it. Punch comes, outward block as you step with the left, step forward, hit behind the head, torque, elbow under the arm. Now the last part to this, we're going to bleed out. This hand's catching their arm, come over their left arm and pin it to their side with a downward hammer fist. This is going to look like grasp of death now, because we're going to hit to the kidney and then hit to the front, could be the groin or the inside of the leg, with this downward inward hammer fist here. Difference is from here, I'm rolling over, catching his left arm, and finishing with that smash. Right? Now from here, that's where the technique in the form will do both sides. Right? It won't include this. We'll grab that left arm wrist, right hand comes up on the shoulder, right foot will kick the foot in the direction of the toes as we pull him down, and then we step out into our full cover out. That's the whole technique for Twirling Hammers. So again, steps in, we front cross to block, step out, this hits behind the head, elbow under the arm, circle over, hammer fist down, so that you're pinning that left arm to their side as you hit low into the kidney. And we grab the arm, grab the shoulder, sweep the leg, front cross sweep, full cover out towards 6 o'clock. And then in the form, it will do the other side. It won't actually have that. It will stop at the hammer fist on this side, and then it will introduce the other side, boom, but it actually will have a sweep motion before it closes the entire form. One more time here, this is Twirling Hammers, front cross block, hit behind the head, elbow, hammer fist, grab, pull and sweep, full cover out to 6 o'clock. And that is Twirling Hammers, technique number 17 in the third Brown Kenpo Karate for Christ curriculum.